just want to take a moment today to offer a little bit of insight into a couple of really common glitches with Google Meet. I'm not saying that you're going to experience this in every school jurisdiction. Obviously, I don't have access into all of the jurisdictional control panels to know how settings are set. So I am speaking from my experience this fall, working with our online teachers who are instructing in our remote learning program. So one of the things we've learned this fall is that the Meet link that is generated in Google Classroom, you'll see I've got this one turned off. It is straight up glitchy. If you use this Google Meet link, you can expect to have problems. I'll give you a for instance. Our grade 3 and 4 remote teacher in my particular jurisdiction was not able to record her Google Meets. And that was despite that she was always the first one in. And so after a number of days of this happening, we sat down and we started to look into things. And what we discovered was that, in fact, she was for sure the first person into her Google Meet. We could see on our control panel that she had opened her Google Meet link from Google Classroom at 10 minutes to 9. The first student in arrived at 2 minutes to 9, a full 8 minutes after the teacher. Yet that student had control of the Meet. So she was not able to have the attendance reports. She wasn't able to record it. She couldn't kick kids out. What a nightmare. All she had to do was get a different Google Meet link. Do not use this one. At the moment, it's glitchy. I think it's probably been rushed into Google Classroom to try to achieve the integration, but it's not where we need it to be. So I'm going to tell you right up, disable that. To do that, just you'll have to go right into the classroom itself, hit the little gear up at the top right-hand corner, and just come down to where it's got Google Meet. You'll see mine says generate Meet link, which I can click and it'll generate a Meet link, which I don't want. But I'm going to just turn that off. So if yours is on, just turn it off. If it was already off like mine was, leave it off. It is not worth the headache. And actually, if you look at the URL here, this word lookup is not part of the links that Google Meet generates. And I'm not saying that that plays into it, but it does look different to my eye. What you want to do is we're going to open another tab here, and we're going to go to meet.google.com. And when we get here, we're going to click Join or Start a Meeting. Now, this is the next glitch. If you give it a nickname, you may experience some further glitching. And it seems logical that putting a nickname on it would make it less prone to glitchiness. But that is not the case. So what you want to do is you want to go to meet.google.com. You want to join or start a meeting. Don't give it a nickname. Just hit continue. It's going to take a second to generate this. And then what you can do is you can take this address up here, copy it. Let's come back over to Classroom. I'm going to save these settings because I've got it turned off now. And I'm going to put it on my classwork page, and I'm going to put it right at the top. I might even give it its own topic category so it is already at the top. You may have to retrain your kids that they're not going to find it on the banner. Now you can see that I've got a not visible, but I can still see it. And that word lookup, if we come over here, that word is not in this address. So I did this back in March when the quarantine started, and I am still using the same Google Meet link 10 months later. It hasn't expired. It hasn't glitched out. If I am the first one in, I am always the one in control of the Meet. So that will solve the two main glitches that have come to my attention in the past 4 months. The one thing you should know is that with Google Classroom now, you can kick kids out, which we could do before. But back in the spring, they could come in over and over and over. Now, if you kick them out twice, they don't ever get back in. So if you have removed a child 2 times from your generated Google Meet link, when that child has satisfied your requirements to be readmitted into your online class, you'll just need to go through this process again, get a new link, go back to Google Classroom, paste the new link in, and then carry forward. And so if the students know that they're going to find it just right at the top of your classroom. So here's our Google Meet link. Come here each day. I don't want them to bookmark it, because if I have to change it with respect to another child's behavior and removal from my classroom, they deserve the privacy. So I don't really want kids to bookmark this or save it anywhere. I want them to come into Google Classroom, which is great pedagogical practice anyways. We want those kids coming in our Google Classroom and being up to date on what it is we're doing in our classes. So we want them to come in, click on the link, and join the meet through this type of scenario. And certainly I can create a topic for that if I would like, but it's going to remain right at the top of my Google Classroom. So kids come in, open that, click the link, and off we go. And that is going to take so much stress off your teacher's shoulders as you're doing online instruction. I hope this was helpful. Happy teaching.